Hi, I'm Dr. Botwin, and we're about to take off on a journey through evolutionary psychology. But I really think it's important that you know a little bit about me, where I came from, what I do now, and my thoughts about things. So this is a bit of a biography. I've been a professor at California State University Fresno for 29 years now. In some ways, it feels like I just got here yesterday. In some ways, it feels like I've never been anyplace else. But I love my job. I love working with students. I love teaching and doing research. Best job in the world for me. I am by training a personality psychologist, and I am primarily interested in individual differences, things like personality traits. And I've extended that to my work recently in evolutionary psychology, where we look at things like flirting, romantic infatuation, sexual jealousy, and a whole bunch of other topics we're going to talk about during this semester. But how does somebody get to studying things like that? I'm like a lot of you. I'm a first-generation college student. I have no silver spoons embedded in any places of my body. I grew up real close to this street. You may remember the Eminem movie 8 Mile. 8 Mile is actually the border between Detroit and the suburbs. I grew up just south of 9 Mile, not far away from the Detroit proper. Here's the house I grew up in. It's a Google shot. There weren't any trees there when I was growing up. You can tell I've been gone for a long time. This used to be a fire station. It doesn't look like it's one anymore. But it was fun. As kids, we'd ride our bikes over to the fire station and hang out with the guys, and they were pretty cool to us. Well, growing up, my dad fixed washing machines for Sears. He worked his way up to a very high executive position in the organization before he retired. But I have a blue-collar background, just like a lot of you do. Growing up as a kid in the 60s, I wanted to be an astronaut like everybody else. I didn't get there through all kinds of happenstances. And one reason I like working with students and mentoring them is I've used up all the dumb luck. I started out at Lincoln High School in Warren, Michigan as a drafting vocational student. A counselor from the local community college said, come on down and get a 2-year degree and you can make a lot more money. A lot was 10 grand a year. And that's a lot of money considering at the time gas was 49 cents a gallon and bread was 29 cents a loaf. Well, I went to community college and got hooked on psychology because I couldn't get into a technical math class. I had taken a very fantastic psychology class from a woman named Eleanor Van Loo, who was a defrocked Catholic radical 60s nun. She was interesting, and I got hooked on psychology. I transferred to Oakland University in Rochester, Michigan, which when friends ask me to describe Fresno State, I say it's like Oakland with palm trees. Here we have all the resplendent fall color at Oakland. I did my transfer units here and got hooked on personality psychology because of an extra credit assignment in a really bad personality class. I guarantee you mine's much better. Well, I was fortunate enough to be able to do my graduate work at the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor and meet some of the leading people in the field of psychology. It was a great few years that I spent there. This is the Michigan Union, and just as an alumni pride here, on these steps behind these trees is where John Kennedy started the Peace Corps. Well, I went looking around for jobs and positions after I graduated and had a postdoctoral fellowship at the University of Illinois, Champaign. Beautiful university, totally surrounded by cornfields. It was great preparation to coming to Fresno State and living amongst the grapevines and the nut trees. I've been here at Fresno State. I teach evolutionary psychology, the history of psychology, and personality psychology. In my spare time, I like to read history books. I like to hike. I like to walk, play with my dogs, hang out with my 4 children. I have 23-year-old and 26-year-old sons and a 40-year-old stepson, and won't tell you the age of my stepdaughter. She'll get mad at me if I do, but I've got 4 step-grandchildren with her. I have a busy life and a fun life, but I enjoy working just about as much as I enjoy anything else, and I hope that as you graduate and move on to your careers, you're as lucky as I am to be able to have a job you love. One more thing, though. A lot of students think that because you're at Fresno State, you can't go to a top school, you can't do great things. Remember, with Fresno State, you can. Students that have worked with me or other professors in the psychology department have ended up at some of the finest graduate schools in the country, including both schools I went to, Illinois and Michigan. We've had students go to Berkeley, all over the place. So with your Fresno State Psych degree, you can do what you want to too. I hope that we have a great semester together. As always, any questions, drop me a line. Bye for now.